I just bought the Fluval Flex 2.0 15-gallon fish tank, and I want to do a little review on it. They've made a lot of upgrades with this tank, and I'm really excited to go over them. The biggest upgrade I see is the intakes. So if you've ever had the last Flex 15, it had bigger intakes up here and in the bottom. They're around 4 millimeters. It allowed a lot of baby fry or little baby shrimp to get into the back of the filter, and they've pretty much fixed that now. They've dropped it down from a 4 millimeter slot down to a 2 millimeter slot that goes all the way through the tank. It still is gonna allow some baby shrimp to get into it, so there's some upgrades we're gonna make to this tank. Another big upgrade is this media basket. I actually really like it. It's got the foam in it, just like it did before, and then a spot for the ceramic media. You're actually getting less ceramic media with this fish tank and a little less sponge filtration, but I think it's gonna be okay. And it's got a really easy thing to lift the media basket out, so you're not kind of digging in there and pulling on a ratty sponge, which was the last 15-gallon tank. Along with the media basket, they included these carbon filtration. I don't like these because it's kind of a replacement that you got to keep buying from the company. It's not fun, but if you want to, you can. But this is an added filtration for some water polishing properties. Another big change they made is including a spray bar. They used to just have this thing and it would whip around your betta fish and it would be terrible for them. They include this spray bar. It's still fast, I'm not gonna lie to you. So there's some upgrades we can make with that as well, but this is kind of cool. It's a step in the right direction. They also upgraded the light. From what I can tell is they put another strip of LEDs in it. I don't know that it's gonna be that much better. My last Flex 15, I had to upgrade that as well. I'm hoping that this is gonna be better, but I went ahead and bought an Aqua Sky 3.0, so we'll see kind of a comparison on how that does. Another upgrade that they made is on the lid itself. So your cable organization is now a lot tidier and it goes to the back corner here instead of in the middle where the lid would kind of flip and flop around. You now have hinges. So I used to make props that would hold this lid up so you can clean inside of it. They've totally eliminated that and I'm not mad about it. This is actually really nice to hold it there. The light's gonna shine you in the eyes, but that's okay. And they added their own version of props. So these things come down and you can vent the lid. Now, the tank itself, I don't know how much you need to really vent it. Maybe if you have salt water, that might be something you want to look into, but it is an option here. While we have the lid down, we can look at the feed cover. This is the same feed cover that's on the 32-gallon Flex tank, but it's really nice. Before, the 15-gallon just had an opening here, and now it has a little lid, so that's kind of sweet. Let's open this back up and you can see there are now 4 chambers for media, which is really, really nice. Gives you a lot of different options for what you can do, as opposed to the last tank that only had 3 chambers. So you can see here they recommend putting the heater in the first one, the media basket in the second one, the carbon in the third one, and the filter in the fourth. I typically like to put the heater and everything in here and then fill up the rest of them with media so I can get a lot of biological filtration going on and water polishing so that my tank looks a lot better. Another thing is they upgraded the pump to be a little bit bigger and it has vibration pads around it. But with the bigger pump, it's gonna sling around your betta fish again. So let's just be cautious with that, and I've got some upgrades for that as well. The tank size, it's obviously a 15-gallon tank, of course. I've compared it to my other Fluval Flex 15-gallon. It's the exact same tank. All they've really done is put a new all-in-one section in the back and glued on a new strip for a new lid. But I still think the upgrades are worthwhile. It's still a really nice tank, but the basics are still there. So some things I would improve. First is gonna be the intakes, because if you buy some expensive shrimp and these intakes are still letting them in, it's not gonna be fun. I went ahead and got these intake covers that have a sponge backing on them. So you have a small sliver in the front, a sponge that nothing's gonna get through, and then you have their 2 millimeter slots in the back as well to kind of filter everything through. Another big issue I saw was the spray bar still throwing things around. I've went ahead and got this spray bar here. It adjusts the water flow on it, so you really fast or slow it down as slow as you want. Fluval was great enough to see that their motors vibrated when you slow them down, so they have anti-vibration pads all the way around it, so even if you slow this thing as far down as possible, you're not going to hear a bunch of noise as in the last version. I also went ahead and made a bunch of new media baskets. So the media, you can put a ton of different stuff in these things and they slide in the bag perfectly. And there's three sets of these things. I make them in blue and then obviously black, but this one's pretty large. You can fit a bunch of different media in it. And then this one is the biggest. You kind of get this tab out of here. This one's quite large here. You can put a lot of media in it. And lastly, for upgrades is the light. I like to grow plants in my fish tank, so this little thing isn't gonna do much for me. I put on a Aquasky 3.0, which allows you to control it from your phone and do whatever you need to from there, just like any other tank. I think this is a really good upgrade. It's worthwhile for me and my plants. Just out of curiosity, I wanted to see if my old lids that I make for the old Fluval Flex would fit this thing. Because I really wanted to know if they just use the same tank and put a new all-in-one in the back. And it looks like it fits just perfectly. Now I'm gonna see if I can get the lid off of here. It looks like just a couple snaps and it'll be off. Yeah, just like that. But let's see. It fits and it looks like it does. So yeah, it's the same tank. They changed the all-in-one and made the lid a little bit better, which is great. But the lids still work. But cool, that's awesome. If you'd like to get any of these upgrades, I'm gonna do 20% off of everything. So if you use the code YouTube20, you can get any of these upgrades on my website. I put the link down in the bio. You can read all about this fish tank and all the upgrades that are made. And I'm probably gonna be making new upgrades as well as things come out and see what you guys like and don't like. And let me know if you have any questions at all. I'm gonna be in the comments answering them.